Yo, what's good? I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. I'm Marcus, and here we do attorney reactions to trending topics, current events, things that are interesting. It could be finance, it could be sports related, it could be politics related, it could be related to some litigation, which most times is litigation. Money is generally involved because those things are always intertwined. As always, if you're new to the channel, I definitely invite you to hit the subscribe button. If you get some value out of this video, I had to look to check to make sure the connections was good. And always toss out a disclaimer, even though I'm not giving out legal advice. Hey, I'm not your attorney. Seek a professional in your area. Don't listen to a talking head on YouTube. This is for infotainment purposes. Now, I actually had three topics planned for this video. They were interesting topics. It was two stories of attorneys who ended up on the wrong side of the law, and another story of a federal agent who ended up on the way, way wrong side of the law. But as I dove into the story on the thumbnail, this shit was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. I was like, you know what? Uh, we just might have to do the whole video on this and then circle back to the other stuff because it was kind of crazy. Even if you look at the thumbnail images, like the thumbnail image is wow. The thumbnail image of her inmate photo is like wow. She looked like she should be crawling out of someone's TV on a Halloween horror movie or something. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, and I've actually know attorneys who've been on the wrong side of the law. I know a couple, and none of the stories are as interesting and stupid and weird as this story that we got here today. So we're gonna dive in and talk about it. What's going on, Pretty Eyes? I appreciate you tuning in, and shout out to you for the first comment of the day. As always, appreciate that. So it is a lot. I got notes. I actually was like, should I do a PowerPoint to keep it structured? Because I was trying to create a timeline, but what we're gonna do is because there's a shitload of videos and a couple of articles, not too many, not too long, but more than what we usually get. uh, it's hard out here for a pimp. Facts. More than what we usually get. It's more videos than what we usually get. So I think the best way to start it is let's go ahead. Let me see. I'm gonna actually pull up. I think the website is the best way to get started. Let's go ahead, pull up the website of Alexis Plunkett, who we talking about today. And shout out to you all because somebody recommended. They was like, "Yo, what's just?" I never heard of this crazy ass woman. I, I never heard of this crazy ass woman before. Somebody in the comments was like, "Yo, what are your thoughts on this?" And I was like, "Who is this?" And so I googled it, and it just was a shit show that just got worse and worse. But this is Alexis Plunkett, the law office of Alexis Plunkett. We're gonna start with her attorney profile. We're gonna go through that because it's always good to know where somebody got their roots in the jurisprudence of the practice of the law. That's always helpful. So we're gonna start with her attorney profile. I'm gonna give a synopsis of what went on. Then we're gonna dive into the meat and potatoes. And I actually want you to see what her homepage on her law firm website say. But let's start with the profile so we can get a little bit of background about who she is. All right, let's see. Alexis Plunkett Esquire. Uh, Alexis Plunkett is not currently practicing law, and this is her bio as it reads when she was practicing. Alexis began. Hold on, let me move the mic over a little bit so I can get closer to the screen. Give me 1 second. I wanted to make sure I ain't lose nothing. All right, all right. Alexis began her preparation for a career as a criminal defense attorney in college while working towards her bachelor's degree in criminal justice and sociology. She voluntarily provided much needed assistance to the criminal defense attorney in the Claremont County, Ohio Public Defender's Office. By the time she graduated summa cum laude from Bowling Green State University, she already possessed more practical experience representing criminal defendants than many licensed attorneys. That's cap. Continuing her education, she enrolled in the University of Arizona James E. Rogers College of Law. During law school, Alexis placed her emphasis upon criminal law and public policy. She further honed her litigation and courtroom skills by working for the Clark County Public Defender in Las Vegas, Nevada, the City of Tucson Public Defender's Office, and the Colorado State Public Defender's Office in Colorado Springs. Alexis was licensed under intern practice laws in both Arizona and Colorado and fully represented criminal defendants in all aspects of their cases, including civil rights, restoration for ex felons in Arizona. During her time working for the public defender, she obtained substantial courtroom experience in matters ranging from misdemeanors to serious felonies. First things first, hey, before we see how she went from this to the other picture, hey, shout out to her because most people go to law school with the intent on like going to a law firm, making a big bag. I mean, that's part of it, but most people don't generally go to law school wanting to help people, right? Like no, I know when I went to law school, I was like, what I need? I need to have what? I need to finish in the top 10% and do what? Moot court, law review editor, do all of this stuff, and I can get a job at a big firm. And I did all that shit, and the firm didn't hire me. So, hey, shout out to her. I ended up exactly in that same situation. Public defender's office, you get a shitload of trial experience. I say it all the time. A public defender who's been doing that work for 3 years probably has more experience than an attorney in private practice who's been doing it 7 to 9 years. That's just what it is. So shout out to her for, hey, she looked like she wanted to help those who needed help. So, hey, credit to her for that. All right. After working in private practice uh, as at a Las Vegas firm for several years, Alexis opened her own office to focus on criminal defense, civil rights, and plaintiff personal injury litigation. Today, she is recognized by other attorneys as a top criminal defense lawyer in Southern Nevada. Her true measure of success is the satisfaction of her clients and the defense of their rights. Now, all right, before we get to, because the homepage is going to be hilarious. Before we even get to the homepage, though, let me just give y'all a summary of what happened. Then we're going to dive into the news videos and the articles to get the gist of it. But the shit is absolutely crazy. This woman went from, and I wish I knew more about her background. Like, she probably came from like a wholesome family and shit. She probably came from like a wholesome two-parent family, and everything. But this woman went from being a counselor of law to being a member of a migrant gang, the 18th Street gang. Now, I know y'all hear that, and I saw that, and I was like, yo, this is fucking wild. But essentially, long story short, it was civil litigation related to a shooting that happened in the prison. A correctional officer discharged his firearm to attempt to break up a fight amongst inmates. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. One of the inmates got hit and died. The other one ended up getting wounded. The inmate who ended up getting wounded was actually a member of the 18th Street gang. And we'll go to her website. I'm actually put it up on her website. I still got it up because this part on her website will explain this perfectly. Let me go ahead and make it a little bigger. So if y'all want to see, y'all can see. Let me go and pull it up. Because immediately, when I go to a person's website, I want to look at their bio. Then I went on media. And I was like, oh, recent results. And I clicked on like the first two links, the first three links. The first two links were dead links. So I don't know what was going on. But I turned to, let's see, this article. No, that's one of the broken ones. It turned me to a Trump article. Isn't that wild? Let me see. Where is, okay. Okay, now this gets absolutely ridiculous. So, but this isn't the one I want to see. You know what? Let's back out of this. We could go there, but now let's not go there just yet. She ends up representing a member of the 18th Street gang who actually filed a civil lawsuit against a correctional officer at the prison because he got shot 3 times. I think it was once in the neck, the shoulder, in the back, or the head, or something to that effect. Now, as this representation grew, hey, the relationship got a little wild. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right. So in November of 14, a prison guard named Ronaldo Ramos fired shots to break up an inmate fight. One inmate, Perez, passed away, and inmate number 2, Andrew Arevalo, was wounded 3 times. This appears to be where the relationship began with Andrew, who was a member of the 18th Street Gang. See, I actually wrote notes in the videos in the order that I needed to play them because I'm telling y'all, there's a lot of shit. And when y'all see these videos, y'all gonna be like, man, this can't be a real story. All right, so let's go ahead. All right, so video number 1 that we're about to look at is related to the incident that occurred that caused Alexis to meet Mr. Arevalo, who's a member of the 18th Street Gang, and later they have some wild ass romantic relationship that ended in all sorts of federal charges, not to mention ultimately a disbarment. Even though they tried to give her a white girl privilege, it didn't work out for her too well. But let's go ahead and take a look at this video.
In prison, an officer shoots live rounds from a shotgun. One inmate dies. We told you about the lawsuit filed by that inmate's family. Well, now the family of the surviving inmate speaks out for the first time exclusively to Contact 13 Chief Investigator Darcy Spears. Darcy.
Trisha, it all started last November in what they call the Hole. That's a high security area in the high desert prison. It's a place where the inmates shouldn't have been out of their cells at the same time, and both were handcuffed behind their backs. Those are just a couple of details that outrage Andrew Arevalo's family.
Nobody told us, nobody called us, nobody informed us about anything.
Andrea Arevalo is upset that her family was left in the dark after her brother was shot multiple times by a guard at High Desert State Prison. She says the family didn't find out until they got a letter from Andrew 2 weeks after the incident.
And even after we got the letter and called trying to find out what happened, nobody would acknowledge that anything did happen.
Andrea says it's taking an emotional toll on a family that believes an injustice has taken place behind prison walls. What pains them the most?
Not being able to give him support and show him that there's people that care about him, that he's not in this alone.
When Andrew told his family he and the other inmate were both handcuffed behind their backs when the guards shot them, that only led to more questions.
So what's the point? Exactly. What's the point of using a gun when you're supposed to be there to protect them from each other?
Come on out. Andrea says there's got to be a better way to manage prisoners.
This whole thing could have been avoided. That boy's life he'd be alive right now.
The Attorney General's office is still actively investigating the shooting. And even though it's been 6 months, no charges have been brought against the corrections officer who fired the gun. We asked the Attorney General for an update, but they say they don't comment on pending investigations. We are still waiting on a response from the Department of Corrections. In the studio, Darcy Spears, Channel 13.
Okay, so hey, all of that is fair. I will tell you subsequently, of course, criminal charges were filed against the officer, Ronaldo Ramos, who fired those shots. But this interaction right here is where Alexis Plunkett is introduced to Mr. Arevalo, who's a member of the 18th Street Gang. So now I want to bring up another video that we're going to watch that just shows how this relationship essentially cultivates. I told y'all there's a lot of videos that we're gonna get into tonight because the shit is absolutely asinine. Let me see. All right, let's go ahead and cue this up, and so we can get a little bit of context. I tried to put everything in chronological order, but it was an absolute shit show. But y'all gonna get the gist of how fucking insane this story is as we dive in.
Tonight about a Las Vegas attorney that's in trouble for a series of alleged late-night rendezvous with one of her clients. 13 Action News reporter Tom George has the latest details from the arrest report.
According to an arrest report, Alexis Plunkett went above and beyond the normal relationship between a lawyer and their client. It says Plunkett would arrange meetings.
That photo is wild. Oh man, that photo is crazy, man. I'm telling you, like she heard evil spirits talking. That photo is absolutely crazy from the photo we saw on her law firm website. It's insane.
At the jail with Andrew Arevalo. Arranged meetings at the jail with Andrew Arevalo, an admitted gang member with a lengthy criminal history. When investigators suspected something was going on, they started filming meetings, and at least 3 times, Plunkett would kiss Arevalo on the lips. She's also accused of letting him use her cell phone, something that's not allowed for inmates. Investigators were also suspicious when Arevalo applied for house arrest and listed Plunkett's address. Plunkett is now facing multiple felonies.
Yeah, he applied for house arrest and listed the attorney's address. That's actually hilarious.
Charges. Tom George, 13 Action News.
All right, so now I will tell you, that's actually, I mean, it's uncommon for these. That picture is crazy work, man. I tell every time I see that picture, I'm like, yo, is that even the same person? Okay, so now where we are, I gotta pivot back to my notes. All right. So, like they said, the COs were getting suspicious. So they decided to put cameras in. They saw a little hanky-panky action going on. She's letting him use her phone, which is a felony in most states. And at some point between Plunkett and Arevalo, this relationship starts to sour. So here is where things get a little bit interesting. So now they have some relationship. At some point, it's not clear, but she's cultivating and developing inroads and relationships with other members of the 18th Street gang. And there's a shitload of them because it was a big arrest that we're going to get into and talk about. But she's cultivating other members. So not only is she dealing with Arevalo, who's an inmate who is either in the gang or associated with the gang, she has communication with other members of the gang. And right now, she pretty much flagging. She got a flag hanging out of her pocket. She representing 18th Street to the fullest. Now, this is where it gets weird. Somehow the relationship sour, and I was unable, y'all let me know if y'all can find it, to figure out what was the cause of the relationship between Plunkett and Arevalo kind of turning bad. But it ends up with her essentially putting a hit out on her former boyfriend. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. This video is going to be one of the more interesting ones. Hold on. All right, I gotta look at my notes so I know what video to queue up because there was a lot of videos. So y'all just bear with your boy real quick. All right, we're gonna close that one out. We're gonna close that one out, and we're gonna go to we are on. So much stuff. Shooting case, inmate shot. Oh no, I'm in the wrong. Sorry, I'm in the wrong stuff. Hold on, let me get. Cell phone. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, we got it ready. There's so many videos. I apologize for the delay. So, but then we're gonna get to an interesting video. So everything was happy-go-lucky. They were living their best lives. She was getting a rush, I'm assuming, from having a little exposure to the criminal world. That photo is wild. They got to stop showing that photo. If you do a crime, you could be a fucking supermodel. The most fucked up photo they have of you is going to be the photo that they use. So, like, if you ever get arrested, just do what Pablo Escobar did. Just smile really big on the camera so you don't end up having a photo like this. This photo, see, look, this shit is crazy. But, okay, some point, the attorney and her boyfriend, who's the gang member, the shit goes left. And now she's actually making a threat to put a hit out on him. Now, pay attention to who she's communicating this to. This is where the shit is kind of getting a little crazy.
This document, they also provide text messages where they say Plunkett tells other lawyers that she's going to have a hit taken out on.
She crazy as fuck. Okay, now I don't recommend nobody join the gang, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Some things happen. But if you are a professional, if I'm an attorney and I'm in a gang, why the fuck would I tell other lawyers? Like, why would I go to the lawyer group chat and be like, yo, I'm about to put a hit out on this dude because I'm repping 18th Street? That's the craziest shit. You could tell other gang members that. You could tell just other civilians. Why would you tell a group of fucking lawyers that you about to do some criminal shit? That has to be the dumbest thing in the world. And that leads me to believe that all of this is dumb. But I'm starting to think that she has probably she not the brightest person in the world. She might actually have some mental health issues to do that. That makes no fucking sense.
Also provide text messages where they say Plunkett tells other lawyers that she's going to have a hit taken out on Andrew Arevalo. These are those text messages. They're from a group chat with Alexis Plunkett and 5 other lawyers. In them, Alexis says she's placed hits in every prison in Nevada on Andrew Arevalo, her ex-boyfriend who she used to represent. Plunkett then texts again saying she represents a lot of gang members. Another attorney responds, "This isn't funny." And Alexis says, "I'm not kidding."
Run her with these.
This is the craziest shit ever. Why is she in the lawyer group chat? I just don't understand. I'm so confused. And the response was even hilarious to me. Like, yo, is this real? Are you joking? And she was like, nah, fam. It's 18th Street over here. Like she doubled down on the tomfoolery. That's absolutely crazy. Let me look at some of the comments real quick. I saw some of the comments I wanted to get to. This is hilarious. Yeah, she looks like she's a gang by herself. Yeah, good reminder to bleach facial hair. Facts. Hey, shout out to you for tuning in, Winky. I appreciate it. 40% contingency on civil lawsuit probably came between them. Yeah, I tried to look. I don't know if it was some return or on the civil case that it was, or if it was the fact that charges developed from the hanky panky and the phone tag. It was unclear, so I didn't want to just make an assumption. Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Too much crime, not enough time. All right, so let's go and finish watching this video because we got a little bit more. But she's sending text messages to the other attorneys talking about a hit that she put on this guy in all prisons, all jails located
in Nevada on Andrew Arevalo, her ex-boyfriend who she used to represent. Plunkett then texts again saying she represents a lot of gang members. Another attorney responds, "This isn't funny." And Alexis says, "I'm not kidding."
Run her with these text messages. She advised you that she was just venting to a group of friends, correct?
Just explained it away as venting again.
That's not fucking venting. That's called self-snitching. This is crazy. Even the judge is just confused. This is crazy.
Explained it away as venting again. I told her I didn't quite understand how this was venting.
In a gang case, and we had the same text, there wouldn't be any hesitation for that person to be in custody.
The detective on the case asked that we not show his face. The texts were brought up today because the district attorney's office says they show Alexis Plunkett is a danger and known gang affiliate.
And the ongoing investigation that she is a danger to the community. And we do have concerns about the way she has been behaving with certain inmates. Something needs to be done about this, Judge. And we've asked you to do it.
But these text messages aren't even why she's in court today. She's here facing multiple felony charges for letting inmates use her cell phone to call family members and other gang members. She was also seen letting Andrew Arevalo, the man she said she wants killed in the text messages, touch her breasts, and the two were seen kissing.
But who in the right mind would send these texts? Like I said, I've been doing this since 1982, and I've never even heard of this, let alone seen this.
Judge Michael Villani seemed confused.
You and me both. Like, this is the stupidest. This is I don't know if it's like she might be on drugs. She might have like cognitive delayed developmental disability. She might have some mental health issue, multiple personality disorder. I don't know. But this is the craziest shit I've seen. I personally know an attorney who ended up on the wrong side of the law trying to broker deals between drug sellers and drug distributors. And at least it was structured. This shit is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's funny because it's so sad and so egregious. Like it's the craziest shit I ever seen in my life. Let's go and finish this video.
Doing this since 1982, and I've never even heard of this, let alone seen this.
Judge Michael Villani seemed confused, even frustrated with Plunkett.
Ms. Plunkett, this is bizarre. There's nothing to say.
But he ultimately decided not to detain her. He also
That's actually shit. The judge is, call it what you want. This is good old. To me, I think this is she got a little white girl privilege here, because there's no way. Essentially, she went on, and I'm going to tell you, she went online and made this threat to other members of the bar who are officers of the court. Most times that could be looked at as like threatening a witness, intimidating a witness. You can't. That's fucking crazy, especially if she has gang affiliations and she has the means, the motive, and there's the opportunity for this shit to actually happen. So the fact that she was able to just walk out with nothing is absolutely is just as crazy as the crazy shit that she's doing personally.
ultimately decided not to detain her. He also set trial for her charges for April 1st.
I threw her ass and she'd have been in jail so fast. I'd be like, you got hit, well, you're going to be able to take them out yourself because you're going to be on the woman's side.
Trial is firm. It's going forward. If you have any motions, file them now. This will not be moved.
Prosecutors have not charged Alexis.
Man, that photo. It's terrible. God, that's the worst photo, man. She looked like a member of a rock group or something.
Plunkett for those threatening text messages. The 18-page document also talks about her slipping notes to inmates during court, trying to sneak them items, and her showing them photos on her phone. Her trial is set to begin in April, but until then, she's a free woman. Again, we did reach out to Alexis Plunkett as well as her lawyers, but we didn't hear back. In the studio, Cindy Lundeberg, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
All right, now,
CPS CEO Pedro Martinez is making his case.
Hold on, let's go and stop that right there. Let's go back. Give me 1 second. Let's go back. I want to make sure we got everything situated because I'm about to show y'all what really makes her crazy. And there's nothing on these videos. It's actually work.
In this document, they also provide.
Close that down. Let's go to watch later. I'm going to show y'all what really makes her crazy. Let's go back to her website real quick. We got to go back to her website. This is rule number one of somebody who's fucking batshit crazy, in my personal opinion. Let's go to share screen. Let's put her website up. All right. So, one thing, all right, as all this was said and done, her boyfriend ended up, I think, getting 8 years in custody. So I think he got 3 or 4 more years left. She ended up essentially just getting disbarred, which is crazy because she got white girl privilege twice, because at one point the court just recommended that her license to practice law be suspended for 5 years. That's fucking crazy. 5 years, and she got convicted of essentially giving an inmate a telecommunications device, which is a felony. She ended up getting, I think, 3 years probation for that. And luckily, the State Bar Association was like, the Supreme Court, who kind of manages the state bar, they were like, nah, 5 years my ass. You don't need to practice law anymore. So she is revoked indefinitely. No more practice of law. She doesn't have a license. But let's go to the homepage, okay? We at the homepage. This is the sign of somebody who's actually batshit crazy. Let me see if I can make that. I'm going to put that like that so it can be a little bit bigger. Let's read what she has on her homepage here. This is a sign of someone who, one, is fucking probably batshit crazy, but they have no remorse. They think everything that they did was right. They can't see anything that they did was wrong. When I saw this, because at first I just looked at the bio, but I didn't look. I was like, damn, she's still maintaining her domain name and her website, even though she's not practicing law. And then when I went and looked at the home, and I was like, oh, that's because she really is crazy. All this shit proves she's crazy, but this just validates it. Alexis Plunkett is not currently practicing law. This is on the homepage of her website. First page you go to. On November 12, 2014, a High Desert State Prison correction officer shot Andrew Arevalo repeatedly in the face with a shotgun while he was handcuffed behind his back. That same CEO killed inmate Carlos Perez, which we talked about. Rather than call for an ambulance, the CEO drafted murder charges against Arevalo. Attorney Alexis Plunkett was the first person to reveal this horrific violation to the media, subsequently filed a lawsuit against the Nevada Department of Corrections, and was immediately targeted by the entire state. Ms. Plunkett was repeatedly falsely accused of crimes involving the Nevada Department of Corrections from 2015 to 2016. Now, I will tell you, it didn't look like it was substantiated, but I know one of the questions y'all probably had was the same question I had. I was like, wait, why the fuck did they shoot inmates who had their handcuffs behind their back? And if it was an inmate brawl, it was confusing. I was like, why the hell would that happen? But allegedly, there were allegations, and it looked like an investigation may have been started into correctional officers pretty much orchestrating a fight club within the jail where they would have inmates handcuffed but would still allow them to fight and fuck each other up. Because even if you remember when we watched that video, they said that the fight occurred and the shooting occurred in a place where inmates weren't generally supposed to be, or they aren't there without some type of supervision. So that do sounds weird. It was a fight, but they were handcuffed and they ended up shooting them. What? Like, so, I mean, to be fair, if I'm looking at that as an attorney, I'm like, yo, something about that not right. Why'd y'all had to, if the guys were handcuffed, why y'all had to why y'all had to shoot? That it makes no sense. So, hey, to be fair, that shit, it just seems weird. So I think her initial representation started out from a place of not wanting to be a gangbanger. But she's already saying that, hey, it was some false accusations of crimes from 2015 to 2016. In 2017, okay, again, no accountability here. In 2017, Ms. Plunkett misread a waiver allowing her to use her cell phone inside the Clark County Detention Center, and the state filed 14 felony charges against her. Ms. Plunkett received multiple random death threats and threats of sexual assault. The judge dismissed the case in 2017. The state appealed to the Supreme Court, and the case was returned to district court 14 months later in 2018. 14 months later. In 2018, the state sought to revoke Ms. Plunkett's bond based on a text message sent when Ms. Plunkett was not on bond, nor did she have an active case against her. The judge denied the motion. Now, remember that in 2018, I'm going to read that again. The state sought to revoke Ms. Plunkett's bond because on a text message sent when Ms. Plunkett was not on bond, nor did she receive an active case against her, the judge denied the motion. In 2019, the state filed a new felony case against Ms. Plunkett for a 2018 public Facebook post alleging Ms. Plunkett threatened a witness. Once again, this information is absolutely false. We're going to get into that video. Ms. Plunkett has been defamed in the media and disputes much of how her alleged crimes have been described in the media. In addition to how the state has characterized her, the state has turned Ms. Plunkett's clients against her and placed her life in danger. Due to the ongoing and severe harassment, Ms. Plunkett felt obligated to take a deal in order to protect herself and her personal safety. Ms. Plunkett looked forward to leaving the state of Nevada and never returning. Ms. Plunkett would be happy to refer you. This is the craziest shit I ever seen in my life. This is like some batshit crazy stuff. Ms. Plunkett would be happy to refer you to another attorney if you have access this website, hoping to retain her. And then she still got contact her for a free consult. She's a fully licensed attorney in Nevada, experienced in all phases of litigation. She pled guilty, but it was absolutely no accountability. Now I want y'all to know, and I'm gonna show y'all how serious this gang was. Okay, y'all hear 18th Street Gang. You see this nice photo of her, and then you see how she turned into Charles Manson on the other photo, and you're like, man, like, why would she go into the gang life? Or was this like a real gang, or was it just like a crew? Now, at one point, because she talked about the threatening a witness on Facebook, we're about to dive into that, but I want y'all to see the type of gang this was and the crimes that were committed. Let me go ahead and cue up a video. Let me cue up another video so we can see exactly was these was these guys banging? Was they gang banging, or was they, out here false flagging? I'm gonna show y'all how serious of a gang this was that this crazy ass attorney ultimately got herself into.
Win in the war against gang violence. More than 24 violent gang members are now off the streets of Las Vegas after an investigation by local law enforcement. We do thank you for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. Metro Police and the Clark County District Attorney say the crimes committed by these gang members include murder and assault. 8 News Now reporter Orko Manna is live in the studio with more on what this means.
29 gang members arrested. This is the 18th Street gang who former attorney Plunkett was repping her. So these guys are legit fucking killers, drug traffickers, the whole nine. There's no false flagging going on here. So she was affiliated with a real ass fucking gang.
Include murder and assault. 8 News Now reporter Orko Manna is live in the studio with more on what this means for safety here in the Valley. Orko?
Well, Denise and Brian, Metro Police started this extensive investigation into the 18th Street gang back in March. They say the 29 people they've arrested since then are among the most violent offenders of that gang. But with gang violence still a major issue across the Valley, the question is, how much safer is the community?
We want the public to know the criminal activity of these groups is one of the top priorities in law enforcement.
Going after gangs. 29 of the Valley's most dangerous gang members, all part of the group known as 18th Street, are now off the streets. The list of their crimes long, and their presence felt in all corners of the community.
Homicide, robbery, battery with a deadly weapon. Those arrestees were responsible for approximately 50 plus Valley-wide events over an approximate 18-month period.
Metro Police say they focused on taking apart the gang structure by arresting the main leader and key associates. They also seized 20.
Go back. I'm about to tell you, when you got a fucking tattoo for a mustache, you about that life. Like this dude right here, I don't know what level he is on the gang, but when you got a fucking tattoo mustache, you are not to be trifled with out here.
Associates. They also seized 20 guns and drugs such as meth, cocaine, and heroin.
What we have done is targeted the most violent offenders and the most active offenders. There are 18th Street members that were not arrested. However, they were not doing a lot of crime.
The Valley has seen a rise in gang violence, but is this one gang takedown really enough to change things?
And without this joint effort,
Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson says, yes, it is.
if you look at pure numbers, one might say, no, it's not that significant. When you look at 29 people that have been indicted or arrested compared to 12,000 gang members. But these are 29 significant people.
Wolfson also says this kind of sting operation sends a clear message to all gangs.
That if you're going to be terrorizing communities, if you're going to be participating in gangs and engaging in drug trafficking with guns, we're going to target you.
Now, Metro Police say they are not closing this particular investigation into the 18th Street gang yet, even though most of the leadership has been arrested, and some of those criminal cases are being prosecuted by the state system, others by the federal system.
So, Orko, is it too early to talk about what kind of sentences these people may face? Because their charges are very serious.
Well, it really depends on the crime that they've committed. D.A. Wolfson says most offenses do come with a long sentence, but those accused of murder could face life in prison or even the death penalty.
Okay, so give me 1 second. Let me close that out. All right, so I'm gonna hit up some of the comments, but 29 members of a gang arrested who are leadership. That's actually a big fucking deal, and we're gonna pivot back to Alexis Plunkett because she does something else that's fucking batshit crazy after these arrests. But it's a big deal. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, and I remember when I first started practicing, an attorney walked me around the city, and we went to like essentially a building that had graffiti on it, and he just knew gang culture in the area so good. He knew what every person on the graffiti. Oh, this person is that person. He could see a tattoo and identify that person's rank in a particular gang. I'm more of a knowledgeable in cartel gangs, but normally you hear, man, there's a shitload of people in the gang. 29 people got arrested. It's not a fucking big deal. But when you arrest 29 people in a leadership position in any organization, or you just wipe out the top 29 people at fucking Google or IBM, it's going to create a big ass power vacuum, and it's actually going to weaken the organization. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but even right now, let's talk about the Sinaloa cartel briefly. So, because I think that's something everybody knows. El Chapo gets arrested. You think the Sinaloa cartel go away? No. He has 3 sons, or 3 or 4 sons, Los Chapitos. They take over a faction of the Sinaloa cartel. Then the original co-boss with El Chapo, El Mayo, has the other half of the Sinaloa cartel. El Mayo recently gets locked up, like, a month ago? He finally is taken into custody. And now El Mayo's son is coming out of the blue, challenging Chapo's children, all fighting for power of the cartel. So the once cartel that was one big conglomerate is now split up to a bunch of factions. So yes, when you have any sting where you take out a substantial portion of people in leadership positions, it's always inevitably going to weaken the organization. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at how Alexis Plunkett, the disgraced former attorney, reacted to the incarceration of 29 of the upper echelon of the 18th Street gang. This should be the last video that we could talk about we could dive into the stupidness of it all. Let's see. Let me go ahead and cue this up.
Arrest report reveals that the investigation into Plunkett began back in December of 2018, and it all started with a post on Facebook.
We can't make it. All right, let's see. All right, let's go ahead and watch this video. So you got to remember what's going on now. The DA's office, the state prosecutors, law enforcement, they just arrested 29 of the leadership of the 18th Street gang. And what do you think is going to happen when people in the gang get arrested? Everybody going to start wilding out. Everybody going to start pointing the finger. They're going to be like, oh, somebody snitching, somebody snitching. So that's what we're about to get into now. The minute people start getting arrested is 100% somebody probably is snitching, but now everybody's going to start pointing the fingers at who the snitch is. And Alexis Plunkett believes that she knows who the snitch is. Oh no, did I? Hold on, I didn't jack the sound up.
On Facebook.
Oh, let's go back.
Arrest report reveals that the investigation into Plunkett began back in December of 2018, and it all started with a post on Facebook.
Las Vegas attorney Alexis Plunkett, the center of a criminal investigation. She's accused of intimidating a witness to influence testimony, a felony, and dissuading witness from testifying or producing evidence, a misdemeanor. According to the criminal complaint, Plunkett made this post on her Facebook page in response to Metro Police announcing on December 5th they'd arrested 29 suspected members of the 18th Street gang. It reads, "I see a confirmed snitch among them who is not in custody and has no complaints."
Oh no, what happened to the video? Hold on, even the internet was like, man, this shit too stupid. Let me see if I can get this video. No, let me refresh the page. And that shit just went out for no reason. That was weird.
2018, and it all started with a post on Facebook.
Las Vegas attorney Alexis Plunkett, the center of a criminal investigation. She's accused of intimidating a witness to influence testimony, a felony, and dissuading witness from testifying or producing evidence, a misdemeanor. According to the criminal complaint, Plunkett made this post on her Facebook page in response to Metro Police announcing on December 5th they'd arrested 29 suspected members of the 18th Street gang. It reads, "I see a confirmed snitch among them who is not in custody and has no complaints filed, so we have one rat at a minimum here." The complaint alleges Plunkett made a similar post online with a photo of said person from an anonymous account.
Real quick, do y'all see how crazy that is? The state the law office of Alexis Plunkett. That's the craziest shit. She She made this post not from a dummy account like Kevin Durant or some fake ass account. It's literally her law firm, the law firm of Alexis Plunkett, and she on here talking gang shit. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. I don't know. This shit is, it almost has me at a loss of words how ignorant and stupid this is. Shout out to stupid criminals for giving us content and making sure we can keep working. But she wrote this shit essentially saying somebody's snitching, and you know, in gang culture, if you say somebody's a snitch, you pretty much putting a green light on their head because nobody rock with snitches, you know.
At a minimum here. The complaint alleges Plunkett made a similar post online with a photo of said person from an anonymous account also on December 5th. The report shows detectives executed search warrants on January 8th and 9th to search Plunkett's phones and devices. According to the complaint, phone records reveal that on December 5th, 2018, Plunkett texted people about the arrests. In one conversation, the complaint shows Plunkett texted, "I think she's working with them. She's a snitch, and that's what they do." In another, "She can snitch on 18th Street all she wants, though she'll get hers for that." In the report, detectives write, "This statement clearly indicates Plunkett knows the person will receive some type of retribution if she is identified as cooperating in the 18th Street case." The arrest report continues to say, "Being labeled a snitch and cooperating with law enforcement is likely the most dangerous position one can be in when involved in the gang culture."
News 3 has reached out to the team representing Plunkett. We're still waiting on a comment. Meantime, Plunkett is due back in court tomorrow morning. Reporting live downtown, Max Darrow, News 3.
That's actually crazy. Yo, I tell you, this is the craziest story ever. I actually found an article where they had a statement from her attorney who was representing her about her putting out that this female, whoever it was a snitch. And the attorney's argument was that calling someone a snitch is not a threat. I'm like, bro, what? Like, yo, Alexis Plunkett suck. Her attorney who making that argument suck. Like, it's just a lot of shitty. There's a lot of shitty attorney work going on in this case. There's a lot of stupidity going on in this case. I don't know what Mr. Arevalo did. Shout out to him. Hold on, I want to show you. I want y'all to see this photo too, because you see the photo of on the thumbnail of Mr. Arevalo. He got the hair shaved, but the tattoo on just his scalp. Look, but I want to show y'all a photo where he, I think, had a graduation ceremony from either a program. I don't know if it was a high school program or what, while he was incarcerated or at the time he was getting out. And I want to show y'all this photo of this loving couple that just ultimately went south. Former inmate boyfriend of Las Vegas attorney seeks to turn life around. I don't know what this dude did right here. But man, that dude, man, what doing them jail visits, man, he must have been that dude to make your attorney join the gang for you. Man, that's crazy. Like that dude, man, that dude must have that's crazy. I don't know whatever that dude did to turn this woman who we see in this picture to Marilyn Manson that we see on the thumbnail is absolutely batshit crazy. So how everything ended up playing out, like I said, the boyfriend, for his other felonies that he ended up getting an 8-year sentence. I think he has 4 years to go. The attorney, Alexis, she got off with cake. They essentially threw out all of the threats and everything with the Facebook post calling people a snitch. The only thing she ended up pleading guilty to was the illegal distribution of a telecommunications device, which was a very low-level felony. It was a very low-level felony. She got 3 years of probation, no actual time in custody, and she was barred from the practice of law. Now, I did see one of the comments. I did see one of the comments. She was on drugs, right? I don't know, man. This shit was crazy. So young to make such a choice after getting a law degree. All that time and everything spent. Like, I don't know, man. Some people just want, but I actually had this conversation. Like, I don't understand people who turn to a life of crime when they don't have to turn to a life of crime. Like that to me, that just makes no sense. Most guys, most guys who are committing crimes, who are out in the street, especially if it's like drugs, narcotics, stuff like that, they want nothing more than to be able to make enough money so they could buy a fucking laundromat or a legitimate business and actually not go back into the street life. So it's weird to see somebody do the opposite when you got everything right at your fucking doorstep. But I knew somebody like that growing up. They didn't go to the same school we went to. They had like a silver spoon where they could get anything they wanted, and they just chose to be in the streets for some crazy ass reason. I feel guilty for wanting to laugh at stupidity. No, you can laugh at stupid. There's a lesson in stupid things, and there's a lesson in some laughter to be had. So yeah, it's sad, but it's funny too. I agree. This this got to be for reality TV. I literally never heard of this lady in my life until somebody left a comment. It was like, "Yo, what are your thoughts about this?" And I was like, "Who the fuck is Alexis Plunkett?" And I don't know. That's crazy. I'm shocked that he didn't detain her for her own safety. Yeah, she should have been in custody, but I think she got a little bit of the privilege action. Maybe the judge was bribed for leniency. I just don't think. How could I put this? It's a lot of sometimes there's a lot of good old boy network going on. Think about it. She probably actually has been in front of this judge and practiced in front of this judge and probably made some good, valid, salient, legitimate legal arguments in front of this judge. That's why the judge was just as confused as I was. So, it's not uncommon and normally, like that, you would probably have the judge recuse himself if he has familiarity with the defendant. But it's not uncommon for a judge to give a defendant who may have been a member of law enforcement a pass. It's generally kind of a little brotherhood. You got the sheriffs who are at the courthouse, the prosecutors who are always at the courthouse, the public defenders who are always at the courthouse, and I get it, but I think this was too serious. I think this was too serious. Like when you a wholesome white woman with a law degree and you decide to join a migrant gang, like it only had 3 women in that 29 of the 29 people who was arrested. I don't know. That's too crazy for me to be letting you out just off the strength of the craziness of the whole situation in and of itself. If she was disbarred in Nevada, can she try to get her license in another state? She could try. She probably won't get it. Typically, what will happen is either she would have to take the bar exam in another state, or some states allow you to have reciprocity. When I went there, because I ain't taking no other bar exam. If I gotta take a bar exam, I'm not gonna fucking practice there. But some states will say, okay, if you practice law for 5 years and you're in good standing, you fill out this thick ass application and pay us like $2,000 and you can start practicing here. Or some states will say, okay, if you've been practicing for 3 years and you got a certain score on the multiple choice section of your bar exam, you can just waive in without taking the bar. So she could apply for any bar she wants. She's probably not going to get in because, like I said, one of the things is you have to be in good standing. One of the questions they're going to ask, have you ever been disbarred? Have you ever been convicted? So she going to automatically nix herself. The best thing that she could probably do, like if I was her, honestly, I would probably just do like consulting work. I would probably do some type of consulting work. She has enough information with litigation in general where she could probably do some consulting, whether it's, hey, I'm an expert at selecting jurors for potentials. This could be some way that she can utilize that knowledge she has, but ain't nobody gonna fucking man, please. Ain't nobody. And she still got her website up. That's the other crazy thing. After all this crazy shit went on, I would completely get rid of that website. I would change my name from like Alexis Plunkett to like something else. I'd pay one of them I would definitely pay. I'd pay one of them companies shit $20,000-$30,000 to scrub that crazy ass photo off. But it is what it is. Oh my goodness. I saw I got a message if my glasses was talking to me. You sent me a wild story. Now I gotta look see what it is. What? I don't know why I laughed. Okay, we might pull that up before we get out of here. Okay. My shout out to my brother Wolverine who sent me a wild ass crime story. See, y'all be putting me on and stuff. He sent me real you did. That's my battle buddy from the service. That's his clothing line. Shout out to the Reddit. Today is the day for wild ass crime stories. Is this relatively new? Let me see. I think I know the person you're talking about. Never understood why he did those things when he didn't have to. Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I know you know. Yeah, I think the judge was scared to convict her. That's a fair point. The judge could be like, "Yo, she clicked up. I don't want no hit out on me. I ain't fucking with 18th Street." so the judge was shook. That's a fair point. I didn't even think about that. Let me give me 1 second. I want to pull up this article because I want y'all to see the article that one of the moderators just sent me. When y'all see the title, you're gonna be like, "Yo, that's wild." And I will tell you my first thought as soon as I pull the article up. Let me see. The title of the article is wild, but since we here, I'm not gonna go into the federal agent. We're gonna hit this one. Let's see. This is crazy. It popped immediately up. This can't be true. When is this? Oh shit! This is recent. Okay, we got. soon, soon, soon as y'all see this, as soon as y'all see this, y'all go out of y'all might not laugh. I'm immature. Let me go and pull up this article. Shout out to my guy Wolverine for bringing up the story that we gonna close out this live stream on. Mandated brothers killer's ex for revenge. Abuse his children. This crazy as fuck. Wait, what? This is I didn't even read the whole title. I just read mandated brothers killer because it was a link on the phone, so it was short. So when I saw it, it just said, when you send a link to your phone, you can only read some of the title. And so all I saw was mandated brothers killer, and my first thought was, damn, she must have been fine as fuck. That was my first thought. But now that I opened it, like, oh, it's actually terrible. This shit ain't funny at all. Mandated brothers killer's ex for revenge, abused his children, stabbed her to death. This is fucking absolutely crazy, man. What the hell is wrong with people? People crazy as shit. This is a crazy ass story. This video will get demonetized because these crazy stories got me cussing like hell. Let's go ahead and read this article. I knew it was fucking Texas. I was gonna say it's gonna be Florida, Texas, or New York. I already knew it was gonna be one of those three places. Police in Texas believe the suspect in the murder of a 23-year-old mother of two orchestrated his entire relationship with her, including her death, as revenge for the killing of his half brother 4 years ago. Yo, that's a cold ass revenge. That's a cold ass revenge to stretch that shit out. That's crazy work. As the police in Seabrook, Texas, continue their manhunt for the primary suspect in the murder of a 23-year-old mother to this fucked up. They're now working off a belief that her death, was part of an elaborate and twisted revenge plot. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of 22-year-old. Oh my God, this dude's name is DeWayland. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of 22-year-old DeWayland Hurst, as reported by ABC affiliate KTRK, for the murder of Mary Jane Collins. The father of her two children shares a shocking connection with the suspect. This is terrible. She ain't have, man, people evil as hell. This is absolute evil. On July 31st, 2020, Hearst's half-brother, God damn, these names is terrible. On July 31st, 2020, Hearst's half-brother, DeJuan Triplett, was killed with a man named Michael King convicted of that murder and sentenced to prison, per KTRK. It is King who is the father of Collins' 2 children. Police believe that Hearst's entire relationship with Collins, which started in June of 2024, was part of an elaborate revenge plot against King, with one particular video appearing to show him taunting King via FaceTime. This is crazy. On October 4th at approximately 10 a.m., just hours before Collins' body was found, King made a video call from prison, per KTRK. In the video, which was captured and subsequently sent to friends, Hearst can be seen taunting King and slapping his son. This is ridiculous. In the days leading up to the death, Collins had told friends that Hearst was abusing her, with KTRK reporting that she showed them injuries according to court records. In the video, which is the last time Collins was seen alive, she is heard crying and telling Hearst to get away from him. According to Crime Online, the outlet further notes it is believed King made the call on a smuggled phone. Video of the call made its way to King's mother, who then posted on Facebook that someone should check on Collins, per the outlet. Friends seeing the post called 911, which led police to the apartment later that day. Upon their arrival, police found Collins' bodies. This is sad as fuck. Yeah, this is crazy work and terrible. Upon their arrival, police found Collins' body. She had been stabbed to death. The outlet reports that both her and her sons were physically okay, but scared. In the press release, the Seabrook Police Department said that they have reason to believe Hearst was not only present at the time of Collins' death, but that he assaulted one of the victim's children only a minute before officers arrived. The probable cause affidavit seen by Crime Online details a Ring doorbell camera capturing Hearst leaving the apartment before 11 a.m. and taking an evasive pass. The ongoing investigation had led police to believe, per the outlet, that Hearst was motivated to revenge the death of his brother, and thus Hearst befriended, abused, and then murdered the victim, who was the mother of Michael King's children. That's crazy. The suspect is still at large. Collins' family told KTRK they want justice for her and that Hearst needs to be arrested. Agreed. Hearst's children will be raised by their grandmother, according to a GoFundMe set. Damn, this story is crazy. Oh, let's see what this story is absolutely batshit crazy. Let me see. No, we're not gonna turn the volume up on this ad. Man, why these ads so long? 23 seconds? Yo, this story is absolutely crazy. It's just some ill, sick people in the world, man. Like, it's some terrible people in the world. To plan out a revenge plot like that, it takes a cold, callous type of person. Normally, as time goes on, your frustration level goes down. Let's pause this and listen to. Okay, let's go ahead. I want to cue this up real quick. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this video. Shout out to my guy Wolverine for texting this video during the live chat. I just read the article, but let's hear this 2-minute video.
Motive in the murder of a Seabrook mother in front of her children.
As police continue the search for the suspect, we're learning they believe he killed the victim to avenge his brother's murder.
ABC 13's Jessica Willey is here to break down the stunning revelation, all new at 10.
Seabrook police believe the murder of Mary Jane Collins on October 4th is linked to a man's murder 4 years ago, and that her accused killer, who is wanted tonight, got close to her ultimately in order to retaliate. Tonight, her family wants justice. They say she didn't deserve this. She was the mother of 2 children. What was supposed to be a fresh start at Unit 504 for Mary Jane Collins and her 2 sons ended tragically on October 4th. Accused murderer Wayland Hurst is on the run as police lay out his alleged motive and brutality. According to court records, Hurst's brother was killed by Michael King in 2020. King had a son with Collins. When officers arrived at her apartment a week and a half ago, they found the boy and his brother peering out the window. Their mother's body lay nearby. She had been stabbed to death. Ring cameras captured Hurst leaving 30 minutes earlier. Court records state that Collins told friends about abuse and showed them injuries in the days before her murder, but that on October 4th, it escalated when King somehow made a video call to Collins from prison. Hurst was present and taunted King, court records state, before slapping King's young son, which was captured on the video. All of this to lead police to conclude that Hurst was, quote, motivated to revenge the death of his brother. Thus, he befriended, abused, and then murdered the victim, who was the mother of Michael King's children. Hurst tonight, a wanted man. Collins, 2 young sons. A relative tells ABC 13, now in the care of their grandmother. Jessica Willey, ABC 13.
That's terrible because those kids, they had nothing to do with her baby father clapping up dude's brother like some cheeks. They literally had nothing to do with it. And that's just, and think about it, 4 years lapsed. Because when we looked at that article, I think they said he befriended her in like June of 2024. So the death of his brother happened in 2020. He meet her and they start talking and getting in whatever this relationship was in June of 2024. 4 fucking years to hope. That dude's sick. I hope he's caught. I hope he get the book thrown at him. And he really gonna be fucked too. Cause I'm like, real talk, like I think I already know how this is gonna go. Cause they're all in the same proximity. So like she lived here. The baby father was in custody, probably somewhere close, I'm presuming. I don't know. He may be in federal custody. He may be in a different state. He could be. They didn't give any details, but yo, what do you think gonna happen to you when you get caught? Like, no, I feel, that's not gonna probably play well too. Shout out to my guy Big Herc. I don't know if you've seen I mentioned it before, but there's a guy, he's a ex-convict turned activist, community activist, and he does a lot of things for the children in the community. But I think he did 15 years in prison, and he just tells stories about prison life, and people will email him questions. And trust me, people who are in custody will hear this story and like, damn, what you taunted dude and was slapping his kids around while he was on the phone with his baby mother trying to talk to his kids. People ain't gonna find that shit funny. So like, as slick as he thought he was, that shit gonna go right back around. Once you engage in a cycle of stupidity and hate, you in that cycle. So when it come back to you, hey, you can't be surprised, you can't be shocked. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, you can't. Hey, I maybe have a jaded view, but I think most people are probably bad people. I'm a little bit jaded from being in the criminal justice system as an attorney, but I've seen the worst of the worst. But I generally don't put anything past anybody. That's just kind of how I am. It's probably not healthy to be that way. I got a little Operation Iraqi Freedom PTSD and everything, so it's probably not completely healthy to be that way. But out of abundance of caution, I think it's always probably best generally not to give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't open yourself up to potentially being in harm's way if you don't have to. Fill the situation out, be observant, keep your head on the swivel. Damn, that story was crazy as hell. Hey, y'all let me know what y'all think. Story number 2 is sad, and I pray for the everybody losing that situation. A guy dead, 2 people about to be in custody. The kids lost their mother, have to be with their grandparents. That's just crazy. I don't even know what to say about that one. That story was just crazy as hell. Alexis Plunkett story was crazy as hell. It was funny because all that was self-inflicted wounds from what looks to be like some wholesome attorney who just wanted to live life on the wild side. But yo, that's it for this video. I'm about to get ready to hop out of here because your boy got some TV to catch up on. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. As always, I appreciate y'all. I'm grateful for y'all tuning in. And we're going to have more content. If you like this video on the replay side of the game, check out whatever's on the screen. There's going to be more content that you'll enjoy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.